it into overtime. Just describe that moment when the ball left your hands.
It felt good right when I shot it, and it was online too. So I knew I had a chance as soon as it left my hands.
We talked about. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We talked post game just about the response that you got from your teammates. What was it like in the locker room after this one?
It was a very happy locker room. It was not toxic at all. That was a big win for us. I felt like we were really connected towards the end of that game. I mean, even the little things like that last play, Royce just telling me right before we went out there, like, just run to this spot. I'm going to throw it right there and knock it down. And that's what we needed to win that game.
Obviously, Grayson, you look at the play itself. Devin was saying you guys repped it in training camp. To at least, you at least kind of knew, okay, this is how it could go.
Yeah.
But is that about as perfect as it could go, considering the limited number of times you guys had actually ran it?
Yeah, I mean, we script through a lot of end-of-game situations and run through a lot of end-of-game plays that some you never use in a whole season, some you use once. So the few times that we went through it, I think, helped. And I thought Royce obviously with a great pass, but then me and Book just creating a little confusion there on whether they switch or not on that flare. But yeah, I don't know. We might have walked through it once or twice months ago, maybe. But yeah, it worked out.
The other thing I had was obviously the three was necessary to tie the game, and then you hit a three coming out of the OT. How big was that to kind of get another run going? I believe you guys started the OT 8-0 run.
Yeah, we started the overtime very well. We created some really good looks. I think Royce knocked down 2 in overtime, right? We just created a lot of good looks offensively there, and Book had it going, obviously, so there's a lot of attention on him, and we were able to space and make plays off of that and knock down big shots.
Grayson, how is your face? Were you bleeding from the nose or the mouth, or what happened?
It was just I got hit in the chin, but my tooth went up into my lip, so I was bleeding a good bit. And then I had to make sure I wasn't seeing double and everything like that.
When you look at the way you guys were able to close out the game, but also the Jazz went on that run to kind of take the lead back, how do you weigh, the way you guys were able to get a good momentum kind of win versus closing a little bit better?
Yeah, we're going to have to maybe look at the film. I actually felt like we were really fighting for defensive rebounds and really boxing out and attacking the boards, and they just got some crazy lucky bounces, or unlucky for us, that went right into their hands, or they get an air ball, rebound, and one. Like, just some really unlucky stuff, and they hit some big shots too. So I think they deserve a little bit of credit for, willing themselves back into the game, and but we do need to hold that lead and close the game out better, and not rely on a final play call.
Grayson, I don't know if you've gotten to know Rex Chapman over the last 2 years with him here. I don't know if you're familiar. He hit like a very similar shot in the playoffs. Are you familiar with the shot at all?
No, I'm sure he'll send it to me.
Yeah, he probably will. It's actually from like the same exact spot on the floor, same pass, like the whole thing. What's the main thing you're focusing on once you turn the corner and realize like you're going to be open? What's the main thing in your head?
Well, in that situation, since it's a skip pass, it feels like there's a lot of time of the ball in the air before it gets to your hands, and I'm covering so much ground across the three-point line. The first box you're trying to check is feet behind the line, and then once you catch it, for a righty going to the right, you kind of feel a little freer that the guy's not going to block it, and just get the shot off and trust it. But going that way, I just say making sure you're behind the line and getting that right shoulder around towards the rim.
It was one of those where you didn't dip. Let me stop.
Grayson, you've only been here a season and a half, but no other Suns player has as many games with at least 7 threes as you. You passed Rajah Bell tonight. That was your 8th. Just when you hear that, only being here that long, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I felt like I've been playing my best basketball of my career here. I do think that playing with Brad, Kevin, Devin has brought out the best in me as a basketball player. I think someone said that they don't do that to their teammates, but I think I'm a very clear example that they do. I think that's a big part of it, and me being in my 6th and 7th year in the league playing here now, and just think I'm a lot more comfortable in a good spot in the league, and feel very confident with every shot I take. But a lot of my threes are assisted, so I have got some really good teammates here, and they all give the ball up early, on time, on target, and I'm able to get some good looks up.
Grayson, it seems like you really relish in that moment when the game's on the line, the ball's in your hand. Do you enjoy that moment?
Yeah, for sure. I actually don't know if I have a NBA fourth quarter buzzer beater yet. That might be my first. But yeah, I mean, everyone loves to be in that moment. You get the final shot of the game and the chance to, in this case, put it into overtime, sometimes win the game. It's that's one of those things that I've done 1,000 times in the driveway, counting down in my head when I was a kid. So it's awesome to be able to do.
Yeah, you said that Book, playing with him and Brad and Kevin make you better. What does it feel like to be a part of this team and on the court when Devin hits that shot for being an all-time leading scorer? Or being on, with the team at least.
Yeah, that was a really cool moment. It's something he's going to hold that record for a long time, if not forever. But he's outside of, obviously you got to be deserving and score all the points to do it, but I feel like he's a very deserving person. He works hard, approaches the game the right way, and he's a great teammate, great guy to be around. So very happy for him, and when his career is all said and done, people are going to talk about him as being one of the great scorers of all time. So it's really cool to play with him.